Hello everyone, this is Enayat Meer back again with some demand of CompTIA classes and some A plus prep material and some basic Windows environment, networking environment and computer environment. So here you can see on the screen I have one website www.comptia.org. First I will show you a motherboard overview, and after that I'm going to show you a few steps like I pointed out here 6 steps: log into Windows 8 client, create and share a new folder, save data into new folder, access data from another computer, run Windows Update on Windows 8 computer, and how to repair internet issue on Windows 8 computer. So these few steps which I am going through and I am going to show you from my screen here. And first let's go and do some overview of motherboard. So you have seen possibly hundreds of my videos, a little high end regarding with Windows 2003, Windows 2008, Windows 2008 R2, and mostly server videos. So this video belongs to little basics environment. So computer basics, it was a demand from few followers and few fellows. Actually I have received a lot of requests from them. So let's go over motherboard, and the first I'm going into a small screenshot, but you see here what a motherboard contains. So if you go over to these all components, and I will browse around with my mouse here, so you will see a motherboard. This is an ATX motherboard, is an advanced technology extended motherboard, and this motherboard shows you a couple of components. So it is a basic structure. When you build a computer, you will see these all things on a motherboard. So then we have actually these small wordings on the motherboard. First you see a power connector where you have a 20 pins. This is the main place where you connect your power supply to the motherboard to supply power, and this is an advanced technology AT power supply connector where we have 12 pins. Then the second one, you have a floppy controller, looks like a floppy controller, and then you have input output connectors like these are for IDE or for hard drives. So we have these 40 pins. Also you can say you use here PATA cables on these connectors, and you have a floppy connector 34 pins, which we don't use actually anymore in current motherboards. And then you see a keyboard connector with this old AT style, because I'm showing you first AT style motherboard. And this is your accelerated graphic port slot for video card. And on the right side you're going to see here a chipset, main chipset, and zero insertion forced ZIF socket. For CPU processor you see a BIOS, basic input output system chip, and you see here ISA, industry standard architecture slots. And these are old slots we don't use anymore, but they have a notch in between, 16 bits, 8 plus 8, 16 bits. And this is a PCI slots, what you see in old motherboards, and you also see in current motherboards too. I will show you new motherboard. And this is a peripheral component interconnect. So PCI slots on the top, you see here SD RAM as a random access memory, synchronous dynamic random access memory slots. You see 4, and these are 168 pins, DIMM, dual inline memory module slots. And this was my first screenshot of the motherboard. And similar you see another motherboard which is possibly a little bit better than the previous one or newer than the previous one, where you can see very visibly primary and secondary IDE controllers or PATA controllers, 40 pins, 40. You also see a floppy controllers here. You see a BIOS we saw before. We have a dip switches which we had in old motherboards. You have here AT power connector, 12 pins. This one, the first top one, and this one is a 20 pins ATX power connector. And again we have asynchronous dynamic random access memory slots here. DIMM 168 pins, because this is also an old motherboard. You see a Northbridge and Southbridge chipsets. You see here AGP slot for the video card right over here. We want it out here. Again ISA slots, industry standard architecture old slots, and then you have a PCI slots here right over here. And then you will see here serial ports. The serial port, actually this is a controller where you can connect a serial port cable. So you connect a serial port like this is a DB9 or a dual shape 9-pin connector or communication port, and this is a parallel port. Parallel port is a 25 pins here, which you connect with a printer. So currently we don't use that one. This one end of the cable goes into this port, 25 pins, and the other end goes into printer, which is called a Syntronics 36 pins, and this is a advanced technology old style keyboard. So this is another motherboard which I am showing you briefly, and little close picture of old VGA. If you see a new VGA video graphic array that has a 9-pin in blue color, but you don't see this in 9-pin blue, you see in a black color, and the other one is a serial or communication port here, 9 pins again. This is a COM port, and so these are the 3 rows and 15 pins. These are 15, this is the 9 pin here. So VGA is a 15 pins and a blue color now, and this is an onboard built-in printer port, 25 pins parallel port, and then you have this is PS2 keyboard and PS2 mouse again from the old motherboard, and you see USB connector right over here too. And this is a motherboard from LPX, old motherboard what we had in the past. So I'm just going to show you a little bit history of those motherboards, so you're supposed to know as a PC technician. And this motherboard is LPX motherboard. We used to actually have a lot of airflow, and we intend to have a lot of airflow on the motherboard. So because of that we have this motherboard wide open, but you see a card, edge riser card actually on top of it, and the slot is on the bottom. This is a brown slot, and then you have this riser card. This riser card contains actually on PCI ISA slots and some other slots and controllers on it, just to save some room and have some better airflow. And this is a CPU processor slot. Slot 1 is a processor slot. You will see here on the bottom, on the top here, you see notches, 1 notch here, 1 notch here, 1 notch here, 1 notch here. So that actually holds the processor. So that's why we have this slot here. And again this is the SD RAM, again old memory. Currently we use a DDR3 or DDR2 or a Rambus or 240 pin memory or 184 pin memories, but this is a 168 pin DIMM memory what we have here. And on the left panel here you see system ports such as a serial port and parallel ports, onboard video card or video port, and sound card, USB, keyboard and mouse, and you will see this visibly in other screen. Next one is the riser card. What you saw riser card on the top over here, which contains a PCI slots, ISA slots, and this is basically shape of the riser card. That's how it looks like, and you just insert right over here. This is not a CPU, looks like a CPU, but it doesn't have notches on the corners over here on the top and the bottom in the both ends. And other things you see normally what I explained before here. You have controllers, and you have your floppy controller of high IDE controllers, your memory slots, DIMM slots here. You see 1 notch here and 1 notch here. These are the DIMM slots and chipset, and commonly you see this CPU here. You saw this motherboard, this type of stuff before. And moving on, and this is my 20 pins main power connector for ATX, and this P8 and P9, these two connectors go into 12 pins AT style old motherboard. So that's what I showed you before, those connectors which connect onto the motherboard. And this is actually, if you look inside over here where the mouse is, ESA. Here on the bottom here you can't read actually here. It is actually on the top you see ISA, and these are EISA slots, EISA, Enhanced Industry Standard Architecture, 32-bit slots, and these are absolute actually, and this is also ISA slot right over here, and these are made in the past, but no more. These are absolute now, but old motherboards contain that one. And this motherboard is a little bit more detailed, and it itself tells you everything in very detail. So if you look at here, all of those components which pointing out to you, and the names are there. You will see these in current new motherboard. This is a new motherboard. Then you see connectors for the CPU fan. These are basically those chipsets. These are the chipsets from the Intel, and this is PCI Express 16 bits here, the big one, and then 12-volt input for the power, and keyboard mouse connectors, and these are is a printer port here, 25 pins. These are communication ports, and this is 15 pins, blue color. The one I told you before, the old one I showed you which was the black color, and this is a VGA, which is a VGA stands for video graphic array. This is an RJ45 port, and these are the USB, several ports here, and universal serial bus, and a local area network. And this is the sound card for the audio, and these are the other you will see built-in PCI slots. From here, from the side screen, you can see the side shot here, and then you can see here for the sound card and communication ports, PCI Express, right, the small one here, X4 communication port 2, 3, and then PCI slots, these two, and then you have a TPM connector, and this is Intel chip hub architecture right over here. And then you're going to see again USBs, several USBs, headers, and then you see a serial ATA, SATA controllers, and main power supply connectors. So these are the six headers for the serial ATA, and this is a front panel. So this was the latest motherboard which I showed you here. And moving on to the next slide. Again, in a little bit more detail, and you're gonna see a couple of new things here. So I don't have to read all of that for you, but explain on the top here about this firmware hub. So this is a firmware hub, and then you're gonna see here in PLCC, which is actually a plastic leadless chip carrier. So you will see on the top here, I pointed out on the top here. The rest everything is the one is from the new CPU. You can see actually you can spare a time and look at this all in before everything actually I explained to you. There is nothing new except the one I just showed you here about the firmware hub. So this was a little bit brief overview of the old motherboards, from old motherboards to the new motherboard. Again, one very visible motherboard which we see again all common names and chipset and everything on it. FDD actually is also is a floppy disk drive, and what else is okay, all you have this serial ATA, and then you have a new memory here. These are DDR memories, and these are the chipset and CPUs and all, gigabit Ethernet, VGA built in, and most likely everything what we actually covered before. So you're gonna see just a new picture of the new motherboard. These are the 440 pins. 240 pins are DDR2 or DDR3. And then once you have everything available, everything ready, all you got to do, buy a case, and then you buy motherboard, and then buy hard drive, memory, all connectors, and connect all together. Make sure that you have edge connectors on the bottom here, those edge risers, and you put on the motherboard first, then put motherboard on the top of it, and then you have to add your CPU, then add your memory, then add your hard drive, and connect them from here, from the out panels here. And these are the slots here where you have to add some inside. If you want to have internal video card, you can add into the video slot, and then you have to everything make sure is working, and then you're gonna show this out panel, which actually whatever you're gonna look at the front here, and you're gonna see from outside. So how it looks from the outside, actually what is visible from the outside here, and this is gonna be the names of here. You're gonna see your USB ports and PS2 keyboard and mouse and digital video input. This is actually your again a video card and built-in video card and high definition multimedia interface, HDMI, USB 3.0, local area network. Then you're going to have a USB 2.0 for backward compatibility, and then this is a video card. And then you also can go and buy a bare bone kit from tigerdirect.com and from newegg.com. So these are the two sites I put here, but that was the basically a little bit overview about the motherboard, and then you have to of course put the memory on it. I went from I didn't put the SIPS, the old one, but I put his 30-pin SIM, the old chip, and then replacement of this one, or the newer one of this one, was a 72-pin SIMs here, which I put here. Then I showed you several slots of 2 notches, DIMM, dual inline memory module. This one is a little bit old memory, but when 184-pin DDR came, and then it was replaced with it, and later on you have a 184-pin rambus or rim memory with 2 notches here, and DDR shows you 1 notch over here. And then we have, of course, after that we have a 240 pins, which I showed you in the previous slide. Then this is DDR3, then again 240 pins like the DDR3, which are not compatible with actually DDR2. Okay. And these are the regular DDR and what you call them, rambus, and then DDR2 came in, then DDR3 came in. Even they have same amount of pin numbers, but they are not compatible. Here I promised in my first slide, so I'm going to show you how to log into your Windows 8 client and create and share a new folder, save data into a new folder, access data from another computer, run Windows update on Windows 8 computer, and how to repair internet issue on Windows 8 if you have any problem. So let's go actually to my remote computer and then show you these things first. So I launched a command line from my physical computer right from here, and I will remote into my another remote server. So I'm going into this server name is HV main. I will log into my admin account. It's connecting to that PC, and I'm into that server. Okay, so I'm in my virtual server, another server from there. Then in that server I have my Hyper-V running, where I have my Windows 7 and I said Windows 8, right? So I'm gonna go look for Windows 8 is right over here. My Windows 8 is running here. This is, let me make sure it is a Windows 8. So go to command line and WinVer, that's a Windows 7, that's not Windows 8. So let me get to Windows 8. I go back to my Hyper-V, and this is Windows this is a client, Windows 7, this is Windows 7, and no Windows 8 running here, no Windows 8. This is ADFS client, Windows 8 here, ADFS Win 8 client. So I have Windows 8 right over here. So let me start this one. This is my virtual client. So this is my virtual client computer. So this is my virtual environment, where I am having some Windows 7 clients, some servers, some domain controllers, just to show you that which actually I'm running physically on my physical server. This is my physical server. Let me quickly show you. This is my physical server, which I'm running on a Windows 7 quad-core CPU, 56 GB of memory, and this work group also is my physical server. Okay, on that physical I'm having some virtual servers, which I'm now starting my Windows 8 client here, and behind it you see it is a Windows 7 client. So I could even do the same stuff or same steps on Windows 7 client what I'm doing on Windows 8, just to show you. But let's do on Windows 8 as I mentioned to you, and I hope I got my admin rights on this Windows 8. So this is actually a client of my Active Directory Federation services server. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So all I have to show you is that this is my Windows 7 Ultimate, and on the back end is my Windows 8, and I go to my desktop and go to my Explorer here. From Explorer it's just turning on the back end. So I click too many times, okay, because it takes a little time to run. Okay, so let me go to my command prompt here, from here and show you that my Windows version, it is a Windows 8. So what I said here, from the Windows 8 I will go into create a new folder. So you can simply go into here, into your computer. It is running in the slow little bit, but this is taking a little time to run because it just started actually, so it has to have some services running on the back end also. So here is your simple view of your root drive or C drive, and you simply can go and create a new folder here. Simply you go right click anywhere, a folder, new folder. I would say okay, I'm gonna make a test folder here, and then you go on right click and properties, and you're gonna go into sharing. So you can share this one. Again, I'm just waiting for my response. It is a slow response coming back. So same thing from Windows 8 or Windows 7. Send this a sharing tab, advanced sharing. I want to share this folder, and I will click on the share this folder with the test name, permission. By default you got read permission for everybody. I'm going to give actually full control for now as a time being, and then click on OK, and this is shared now. Then I said I'm gonna share a folder, create a folder into Windows 8 client, and then save data into that folder. So data share means that simply you go into that folder and copy something over it, or you also can simply go and create a new document in it, or create a new folder in it, or something in it, with just to demonstrate that you are going to add something in it or sharing something in it. So here you can go into new. For example, I say okay, I make a text document here, simply nothing in it, simple, that's it, and close it. Now we're gonna see what is my server name. So I'm gonna take host name, and my host name is W8 client 01. Okay, so then I'm gonna go to my Windows 7 client / / and I'm gonna put what is the host name of that server. Actually whatever the host name is, again Windows 8 CA01. Oh, I do have another Windows 8 also. These are several servers clients I'm running right here. W8 client 01. So you're gonna go into / and type W8 client 01. That's all. So you're gonna say W8 client 01 and enter, and this will go and ask me the credential, which was admin and my password, and I got into that one. So I got this test folder here. I will see this note here, and I didn't put anything here. I said okay, I said this is Enayat Meer. Okay, and then I close this one, and I saved it and closed it. And if you go back to Windows 8, actually I supposed to got that file which I just shared. I showed you like a small networking here, so you can actually network together in this one. And now whatever I typed actually should be saved in it here. Okay, so from this PC on the back end to this PC on the front end, I saved it. Now if you want to repair internet, if there is any problem, I'm not gonna go and do it all steps, but simply I go into my control panel, control, and go into my view network. This is the network and internet actually here. This is the icon where you can access your network and sharing center, or network and internet, and you go here and change adapter setting, and you see your adapter, you right click on it, and simply you can go and set diagnose. So what happens that if you cannot go and access internet, you click on diagnose, it will go and release and renew IP address. The way you do IP config release and IP config renew, and that's how we do this work. So let me go back into my original slide where I was before. So I'm gonna minimize my Hyper-V HV main, my physical. On the back end I was running here this was my previous slide. So I showed you how to log into Windows 8 client and create and share a new folder, save data into new folder, access data from another computer, run Windows update on Windows 8 computer. Oh, run Windows update, I didn't show you that one. Okay, so how you do run Windows update, I'm gonna show you that one. I have to go back into my same computer where I was before in Windows 8. So you can hover over to your here start. Let me go into my recording window. Here you can go hover over here to the right side. Here you're gonna click on settings. From settings you're gonna click on change PC settings. From change PC settings you're gonna see on the left menu, you're gonna see everything here: personalize, users, notification, search, share. So all the way down you're gonna see Windows update here, and this is you're gonna check for Windows update now. Okay, so that was all our things. You're gonna check the updates. If there are updates, it will take a while to check, and I'm gonna minimize this back into my slide, but that's how you're gonna update and click install Windows update. So the next slide is the final slide where I will be back with my new video, where I will explore further details about hardware and software, networking, basic and advanced networking ideas, and a lot of hands-on, so you can follow along. So thanks, and please subscribe me. And you also, if I can quickly show you how to get into my YouTube channel and the videos, and you can follow along and subscribe me. Let me show you. This is my web browser. So instead of that, you're gonna go to youtube.com, and all you got to do, just enter my name, and that's all you need. Okay, so here you're gonna see my videos here. So once you enter my name here, these are a couple of videos, and most of my videos have, if you click on the video, have a link on the bottom under my details here, from 1 to the second to the third. So you can have part 1, part 2, and this should be part 3. Okay, you click on, for example, you want to go to part 1, go to part 1, and these are the little high level stuff, high level videos or high end videos. So you can simply go and view those one, and these are the new videos I posted there actually, and with my name you're gonna see all of the list of my videos. Currently I'm showing 131 videos so far, but you, whichever video you want, you simply go and find that video, and if you like video or you think that you need to watch that video, simply look for that and click on the video here, and then it's gonna show up here. You might gonna see some advertisement here. So once you wanna see the video really, you're gonna click on skip advertisement, and then my video gonna start with a lot of explanation on the video on it. So you're gonna, if you want to put some comments, you always welcome to put the comments under those videos here. But that's how you're gonna go. So I will come back actually, and I will help you to pass your A+ exam and Network Plus exam, and possibly I will go and make some videos for Security Plus exams as well. So thank you for watching my video. This is Enayat Meer, and I'll see you in my next video.